Sure, watching football is fun, but it's more entertaining when you have some action on the games. Guys, you've heard me talking about this for weeks, and some of you are still on the sidelines. Get in there. Whether you're an expert or a rookie, you should be betting at my bookie. If you're the kind of guy that likes to bet a little and win a lot, like playing the numbers on roulette, you can turn that into a big parlay. Pick 3 teams to win, and if you hit all 3, you'll turn $100 into $600. Plus, not just football, you can bet on all major sporting events. Take MMA this weekend. Conor McGregor, he's back. Steps back in the octagon on Saturday for his first fight. In the UFC in 2 years, you can bet on things like whether he'll win straight up or whether Khabib will deliver a first-round KO. Kind of like the odds there. I recommend these guys because I really trust them. This is one bet I know you'll be happy with all season. MyBookie have been in the business for years. They've got great online reviews, and their mobile site is easy to use. So if you're on the sidelines, now is the time to get in the game. MyBookie will still match your first deposit dollar for dollar, but you got to join now because they'll be pulling that offer soon. Log into MyBookie right now and double your money. Use promo code FTW, and you'll get your first deposit matched 100%. That's promo code FTW. You play, you win, you get paid. Welcome back to the Struggle Communication with Thunderdome for another Bowl with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best weekly podcast. The show about everything and nothing coming right at your ass one day a week. Sin Shotgun, yes, Uncle Nick. Give him a follow on Twitter at Uncle Nick or at Nickerson. Nick, how's it going? Guess it would help if I turned Nick's mic on. Actually, I don't know if it would, but yeah, Nick's here. Tell a friend, spread the word. iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio as well. Nick, do you remember this song?
Oh, yeah.
Slow motion for me. Slow motion.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget what year this was. But no, Juvenile.
I was going to say 97.
Like Juvenile. No. It's got to be like 2002.
I swear this is high school stuff. Oh, wait, which would have been 2000.
Yeah.
I'll say 99 maybe. I'll look it up.
Yeah. We'll check into all of that, but such a good jam from back in the day. Today, we are back. Nick is on the whole 30. He's on day 2. We'll talk about that. Also, we'll give the movie Vice a little trailer trash action, as well as playing a game by producer Allie Either Or. And then we're going to talk about drunk birds and stuff. But Nick, how was your week? How was your weekend?
Weekend was fantastic. I believe we had a wedding this last weekend, wasn't it?
There's no way to know that for sure, though.
I don't think. Yep. Normal. Cool. Getting used to this new weather. It's no longer the 80s and 90s like it was a couple weeks ago. So I like it. I like the coolness.
Which month in Minnesota has more variance? October or April?
As of this year, I'm going to say April because if I do remember, there was that crazy blizzard in April where we were going to go see that Filipino comedian, that Joe Coy.
Yeah.
But then like 2 feet of snow fell over on that Saturday, and then I believe in the next following week or two, it all dried up, and I believe it can get easily 70s.
Or is it May? I think May, because April can be pretty hit or miss. But October or May?
I'm gonna stick with the spring. I'm gonna go May because I do remember the May 2nd blizzard, where there was a blizzard, and then the following week it was up to 80 degrees again. So I'm gonna go May.
Yeah. It's good. Someone else who is good, Josh Pelto, Remax Preferred. If you're looking to buy a home in this stupid weather climate, which, I get it. Go with him, whether you're buying a home, whether you're selling a home, whether you're doing whatever you want. Twin Cities real estate market is his niche, as well as the rest of the state of Minnesota. So he's got a pretty big niche. It's pretty wide, right? And if you're looking to just get in the process for spring, it is a pretty long process, whether you are buying or selling largest financial transaction of your life, in all likelihood. Yeah, so give Josh a call. 763-213-4617. JoshPelto.com. Josh Pelto Remax Preferred. So hold on. I have to just soak in just the goodness of this.
Remember the way less money we spend on bullshit, the more for the weed. What it's gonna take to get you to come in slow motion with me? Like,
I like it like that. She working that back. I don't know how to act. Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Moving slow motion for me. This is definitely on the workout list.
This is from 2004.
Wow.
I know. That's definitely later than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Can you play the song "Sugar" by Truck Daddy? That was 2005. That was one of my hip hop jams.
Yeah, we can do it. But Nick, the Whole 30. So what was the inspiration?
I work with a girl who started it a few weeks ago.
It's all about the ladies.
It's always about the ladies. Just whoosh is what Nick is typically. Obviously, I'm a big guy, but this thing wasn't about dieting or weight loss or anything. This was my friend. She has she has stomach issues every once in a while. Something she eats, gets an upset stomach. So
she just come into work and just like completely destroy the bathroom.
Yeah. Anyway, but so she told me about this thing she was looking into called Whole 30.
Yeah.
It cuts out breads, sugars, grains, dairy, peanuts. A lot of the like food allergen type of foods. Like gluten stuff. It cuts it out all completely for 30 straight days. Like you're on a strict regimen of just proteins, beef, chicken, pork, fish, I believe. As long as there's no sugar added to it. Fruits and vegetables, like that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a restriction of how much of it you can have. Obviously, I think they don't want you going overboard crazy, but you stay on this thing for 30 straight days, and then once the 30 days are over, you slowly try to introduce one of the foods that you gave up into your system to see if it has any adverse effects on you after 30 days. Because I think it takes a good 30 days to. I love the song. Anyway, it takes a good 30 days, I think, to reboot your system. Yeah. Change your body. I think it affects your stomach stuff and processes things. So it's
because that's something that's sort of under the radar with people doing 23andMe and all these things where it lists your food allergies.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are lactose intolerant. I'm to a degree. Some people low key. Just foods that don't agree with them that they can't digest, and it can cause issues long term.
Yeah. So I think it's a kind of great idea. It's a fun, as I said, for me, a challenge thing to do because obviously I'm a guy who's grown up on fast food. I love the convenience of it. I love the quickness of it, and I'm a greasy. I love my carb kind of guy.
You're a greasy guy, as well as eating a lot of fast food.
Exactly. So right away, everyone's like, "Oh, Nick, can you do this and stuff? You can't have chocolate or candy." And sweets weren't never really my thing. I was more of the greasy guy. I like the salt and salty, fatty foods. So giving up the sweets is fine. It's going to be missing that type of thing will be a little bit more harder to take. But and it's, a lot of it is if you're a working man, if you're someone who has a schedule, you have to be on top of a schedule and make a food schedule. And if you're not, typically I'm a social butterfly. My phone's always beeping. There's always things going on. Like, hey, want to come down to so and so? Let's go to the bar and do this and see a movie or something. Oh yeah, there's popcorn and pop. There's a lot of temptations and stuff to throw you off.
Well, I found that. Everyone's busy, right? But it's really no excuse. Just take an hour on the weekend and meal prep. That's really all it takes. Just an ounce of planning or whatever the saying. Just a little bit of planning will help it go a long way. But you're only 2 days in and you haven't died yet, so that's a good sign.
That is a really good sign. So I hear the first couple weeks are the hardest, and then after that you kind of get this like high of feeling good high. So I can't wait for it. I'm assuming the next week or the next episode we shoot, I might be cranky, but we'll see what happens.
Because essentially what you're doing is that you're quitting sugar and the simple carbs altogether. And this is Whole 30 and the ketogenic diet are pretty closely tied. Not one for one, but because you actually have a lot of carbs on the Whole30 with the vegetables, and you can have potatoes. So yeah, but the whole quitting sugar and grains and dropping that and artificial sweeteners, your body is definitely used to it, and you do have some withdrawals. Like I'm not going to compare it to something as serious as like quitting like a narcotic like heroin or an opioid like that, but it's up there. Some people definitely go through that. And when I swore off sugars and grains for the most part, yeah, I still enjoy it every now and then. But it was about a year ago. Like I was pretty fortunate where I was able to transition pretty quickly. But seeing like testimonials of some people where it's like, it was just 2 weeks of hell where I just wanted to end it. I'm like, oh, wow, well.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it'll probably be something like that. But as I said, I like a challenge. I like change, and I said I've been planning a lot. I have good help and support system. You and your wife is helping me out great with this, and this is my coworker who's halfway through it. So who knows once she gets that 30.
You didn't even start at the same time?
Nope, no, because I had the obviously we had 2 weddings. In September that I wanted to partake in and have drink. Yeah, so if you didn't catch in the beginning with Whole30, I can't drink alcohol. I'm not supposed to have a drop of booze, and being sober at a wedding is not something you really want to do.
Especially when you're trying to pick up chicks. Let's play the game. All right, we don't have an intro because, of course not. All right, so the game is called Early Movie Roll Either Or. And what producer Allie has done is she's given a description for a movie, name and description for a movie, and she gives us 2 options for the actor or actress who portrayed that role. And Nick and I we'll each guess. We'll clock something in, and high score wins. Play along at home. I think we got 7 names. Sure, why not? All right, Nick, are you ready to get whooped?
Do you want me to do the thing where I will write down my answer first?
I trust you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so first one. This actress made her film debut in the 1982 movie Tootsie, where star Dustin Hoffman dresses as a woman to secure a role in a soap opera. Sharing a dressing room with Hoffman, she makes a scantily clad entrance and is significantly taller than Hoffman. Is it Gina Davis or Brooke Shields? Gina Davis or Brooke Shields?
Okay.
I've never seen this movie. Didn't Dustin Hoffman win an Oscar for this movie? I feel like he did. A lot of people talk up Tootsie.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a pretty good. It was a pretty entertaining movie. You have to think. It kind of foreshadows a lot of stuff going on in today's world with him being he was a struggling male actor. He decides to actually become a dress and become like become a woman, a la Mrs. Doubtfire, to get roles. And
this is Joanna Man. Like, are you familiar with that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, this guy who couldn't make it in the NBA dresses up as a woman and joins the WNBA. Tootsie is Joanna Man. But all right.
Did you say this was like early roles? Did you say?
Yeah. So early movie role, either or.
Okay. I have a guess then.
All right. So Brooke Shields, I think, is younger than Gina Davis. I think Gina Davis, like late 80s. Was that when that stupid pirate movie came out? That bombed? Yeah.
That Cutthroat movie, Island. I think that could have been 90s.
Yeah. And, of course, League of Their Own. I'm going to say Gina Davis.
I was going to say Gina Davis, too.
All right. Both said Gina Davis. Both are correct. Gina Davis. So we each got a point. And the fun factoid that producer Allie kicked in, she was a semifinalist for the Olympic archery team. I think I knew that. There you go.
She's in a very random 90s movie called The Long Kiss Goodnight, a very underrated action film with Samuel L. Jackson. I definitely recommend looking it up.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. Next up is in a role that foreshadowed a 2010 Wolfman performance. This actor played Duke, the dog-faced boy, in the 1988 movie Big Top Pee-wee. Was it Benicio del Toro or John Leguizamo? Oh, boy.
Both fantastic actors. I know who it is.
All right, so Del Toro, Usual Suspects, also Sicario. which is phenomenal in. John Leguizamo's The Pest and also Super Mario Brothers.
Great movies.
This is tough. Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to guess Benicio del Toro.
Yep, I think it's Del Toro.
All right, both said Benicio.
I think he was in Wolfman.
Benicio. Correct answer is Benicio del Toro. Hey. All right, so we both have 2 points. 2 for 2, random factoid on BDT. His family urged him to become a lawyer because they felt there was no future for him in acting. That's true. It's fair. All right, next up. How many do we have? Looks like that's 6 or 7. Doesn't matter. All right, so next up is this actress's first role was a smoking, gun-toting 12-year-old sporting an eye, black eye in the French film Léon, the Professional. In 1994, although she has gone on to star in blockbuster movies, she has won acclaim for her dark psychological roles. Is it Claire Danes or Natalie Portman? I know this one.
I know, too.
All right. My guess is Natalie Portman.
It's Portman.
Leon, the Professional. Who plays Leon?
His name is French actor.
He's in everything.
He was the bad guy. He was in the first Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name off my head.
He's like standard European bad guy number 1.
Yeah.
But yep, Natalie Portman, random factoid. She's fluent in Hebrew and knows some conversational French, German, Japanese, and Spanish. So, cool.
Jean Reno. That's his name.
Jean Reno.
Jean.
I feel like I could be French. Next up. In early movie role, either or. So we got 6 total. Nick and I are both tied at 3. Something's got to give. Never given a line of dialogue, this actor's first movie role was in Eddie Murphy's 1988 classic, Coming to America. He sits in a chair at the barber shop, observing and laughing with the old men who are talking in the shop. 8 years later, in 1996, he would have one of the most catchy lines in movies in the 90s. Is it Cuba Gooding Jr. or Jamie Foxx?
I know it.
Yeah, I know it, too. Cuba.
Yep.
Yeah. Show me the Cuba. Cuba Gooding Jr., random factoid. He's an active hockey player and has a rink in his backyard, which... it's got, is that all of his Snow Dogs money?
There was a very funny last week tonight that aired a few, maybe up to a month ago, where they have a Cuba Gooding Jr. joke.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
Yeah, here's a scene from Coming to America.
The Blonde Bomber. Now that was a great boxer.
You damn right.
This is Cuba. Jerry Curl.
Cassius Clay. We got a point. Cassius Clay was a bad motherfucker. Hey, I ain't saying Clay ain't bad. I'm just saying I stopped liking Cassius Clay once he changed his name to Muhammad Ali. What kind of shit is that?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Wait a
A
second.
man has the right to change.
I can't believe that's Eddie Murphy still.
The joys of prosthetics.
They need... I know that Tyler Perry does it now, but the fact that in the 80s and 90s there were so many movies where people played multiple roles. Well, mainly just Eddie Murphy.
I think it was just him.
It's so amazing.
Change his name to whatever he wants to change it to. And if a man wants to be called Muhammad Ali, God damn it, this is a free country. You should respect his wishes and call the man Muhammad Ali.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Mm-hmm. That's right. I say Clay.
Get out of here.
That's right. That's right. He gonna always be Clay to me. I don't give a fuck what change name to. He is Clay. He Clay to me. I say Clay.
How clearly he
Well,
was
then
chopping
get a
the guy's
punch.
hair.
The 3 of you. 3 punches. You should change the name outside from Mighty Sharp to the 3 punches.
Such a good movie. I may have to watch that now. Very, very soon.
First time I've watched it was with you.
Coming to America, Trading Places, both classics. Just great. All right, next up. We got 2 to go. Nick and I are both tied at 4. And who knows? Maybe we'll tie. You never know. After some small guest roles in television, this actress made her film debut as the struggling best friend in the main character in 2008's indie movie Garden Party. She would go on to have success in both indie and mainstream movies. Was it Ellen Page or Jennifer Lawrence?
Oh, wow.
That was tough.
I actually don't know this one. I have a guess,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll go with the guess I have.
Yeah, I've never heard of this movie. Small roles on television. I know that Jennifer Lawrence got her start on like the Bill Engvall show. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they mean. Ellen Page, Jennifer Lawrence. I will guess Jennifer Lawrence.
I was going to go Ellen Page.
This
might be tough.
This might be the game.
All right.
Survey says Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh. For the record, I can't see you seeing the answer. It's black for me here.
Oh, you look up in the bar. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Random factoid: she learned to skin squirrels for her 2010 role Winter's Bone. Never seen that movie. Probably not missing out on much. All right, last one. Nick has opportunity to tie.
Okay.
There we go. In the 1986 Charlie Sheen and Corey Haim movie Lucas. Wait, isn't that movie where... No. This actress loved the main character, but was relegated to the friend zone as Lucas pines for the new girl at school. She went on to a string of hit movies in the late 80s, and early she's set to reunite with her 1992 co-star in a romantic comedy this year. Is it Uma Thurman or Winona Ryder?
All right, I got it.
I just don't remember Uma Thurman from doing like movies like this, so I'm gonna go with Winona Ryder.
I think it's Ryder.
Both said Ryder. Both are correct. Winona Ryder. Factoid: her real hair color is blonde. It is dyed black for the movie Lucas, and with the exception of the movie Edward Scissorhands, she has kept it dark in her film roles.
Oh, I forgot she was blonde in that.
Yeah. Well, with a score of 6-5. I have emerged victorious in either or. Early movie role edition. It's okay, Nick.
Womp, womp, womp.
And the play is going to play. Nick, get the news ready. I'll tell the people about the wonderful folks over at the Strother Communications Group, because you may have noticed purpleftw.com, supercharged, super fast, super beautiful. You should check it out, and you should get your own website tuned up, as well as digital marketing. Anything you want and need, get it going for your business and your brand in 2018. You owe it to yourself as we head into 2019. Find out more. Go to the professionals at scgpr.com, the Strother Communications Group. All right, Uncle Nick, let's do the news. Eventually.
You are fake news. Sir, go ahead.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I ain't got time to believe.
You can't handle the truth.
The news with Uncle Nick.
All right, Nick, what's going on in the world today?
All right, taking a story up to the northern part of Minnesota. Police in Gilbert, Minnesota, are warning residents about a group of birds that appear to be flying drunk. Believe it or not.
Well, how can they tell?
They're crashing into windows and everything. Cars.
So that just makes them birds.
Not all birds crash. How many birds have you hit in the Twin Cities?
6.
Oh, really?
No.
All right, but I mean, there's an actual explanation with all this. With the weather, which we talked about earlier, as was always variable in Minnesota, northern Minnesota, that just had a recent frost up in the northern suburbs. It affects the berries, and the berries fermented early. So so random trees up in the northern northern part of the state.
Yeah.
The berries, depending on weather regulations, berries can ferment. Same thing as alcohol kind of does, and the berries actually become kind of the sugars turn into alcohol, and the birds that are chirping on the fruit, the berries fruit as for food, they get a little bit wasted. So this isn't actually like a new thing. This this trend can always happen this time of year, but it's just a lot earlier than usual because of the early frost coming in. So yeah, police are warning people, hey, just be careful because birds are flying. There's been a number of reports of just birds flying erratic.
And this must be their favorite time of year.
The birds or the people?
Both.
I don't think people care about it.
Yeah. Nick, this whole 30 is already changing your voice.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Sorry, I have to drink more water.
Are you dying, Nick?
I might be dying. Yeah. My voice is changing. I'm becoming a man now.
What's next?
All right. The second story here. Sorry, I'm on my phone right now. Sad, heartbreaking news is that the Twins have released Paul Molitor as the manager. So Paul Molitor was the Twins coach / manager for the last, I believe, last 4 seasons, taking over Ron Gardenhire's position.
Mm-hmm.
And after last year making it to playoffs for the first time ever, in quite a while, and then kind of having a mediocre but still second place in the Central Division here, they cut ties with him right when the season ended.
Yeah, it seems odd since it's essentially a firing, but they're also going to keep him in the system somewhere in an undefined role, probably working with some minor league kids. So it's more of a demotion as opposed to a firing. But I mean, yeah, I thought Molitor was quasi getting the Twins in the right direction. Although, to be honest, I haven't really kept up with baseball as much since. But the lack of development with Buxton and Sano probably plays a part into that. So Molly's got to go. But it's weird that they don't have a name in mind, or at least they say that they don't.
Yeah. No one's listed yet, and this is, not the other Twins news that's kind of being rumored right now is Joe Mauer being his last year here. So we'll see if I don't think anything was official as of a taping of as our recording of this, but I mean, there's so many hints right now, and that whole last game was so emotional, bringing him back as a catcher for that game, and his daughters being there and stuff for his kids.
And with a 1-run lead, the Twins are going to change pitchers and catchers.
All right, so people who aren't Twins fans, Joe Mauer was the Twins catcher for a long time. Then he switched to first base because his knees were going. But in what's probably going to be his last game, 9th inning, they put him back a catcher for 1 pitch.
How about this?
Man, love how gray he looks.
Has Joe Mauer made up his mind already? What does this mean? The only catcher to win an American League batting title, and he did it 3 times.
Since 2013, wow.
Joe in tears. The love of the game of baseball.
Yeah, but he'll be missed. What's next?
All right, a news story about a kind of a comet that's coming back into the Twin Cities, into our atmosphere. Sorry, we're going nerdy with this news story, but I found it hilarious. The quote, death comet. Yes, there's a...
Death comet.
There was an asteroid that flew around Earth back in 2015, around fall, around this time of year, which obviously we're going to be probably talking about Halloween more, so our podcasts kind of go on here. There was the asteroid that flew, relatively close to Earth. I think still a couple 300,000 miles from us. When photographed, looks like a freaking skull, like a skull coming towards us, which is fantastic. So it's nicknamed the Death Comet or the Great Pumpkin Comet because it came around this time, Halloween a few years ago. So it's making news because I guess it's been tracked and it's coming around through our atmosphere around this time. I think this loop around, I believe it's coming towards a day or two after Halloween. So
drops of Jupiter in her hair.
Yeah, exactly like that. Just like the train song.
Nick, how do you think the world's going to end?
Humans.
Or do you think we'll get to the point where the sun just burns out?
No. That's predicted to to not happen for another like 5 billion years. Billion.
Yeah, but you know.
Billion years. That's something that's astronomically insane when you think about human life and like Earth. Like humans have only been on our planet for fractions of a second of like all geological time. It's no, I just no. We're not gonna. We will destroy ourselves first before, like, you know, comets or fucking the sun blows up. Or we blow up the sun. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Do you ever think, though, that there may have been, or there may be a comet out there somewhere, and it's going to be like Armageddon? I don't want to close my eyes.
Yes and no, because I mean the universe is vast, and the asteroid belt, and beyond. I mean, there's asteroids and stuff moving all the time. Like throughout space, it's hard to track every single thing. I mean, as I said, the universe is so freaking big. So I mean, to track every little thing that's coming into our system, because we're not at Star Trek capability of tracking stuff, and it's not Star Wars. We can just fly as simply as like get jumping into a freaking X-wing. So there's a bunch of there's always a possibility of
never do happening. I still miss you, baby. I was next.
All right. A random story from Fox News. Lil Xan is warning people about flaming hot Cheetos, and
who is this Lil Xan?
Lil Xan is a rapper. So yes, a rapper who has probably a couple thousand followers, or at least 100,000, or at least 200,000, because that's how many likes his stupid Instagram video gets. But and I don't think this is the only story I've heard about this, but someone complaining about eating too many flaming hot Cheetos, which required him to go to an emergency room, and I believe he had to have surgery or something. Like he had like some intestinal issues, and he complained about it's because like one of his favorite treats is flaming hot Cheetos, and probably eating bags at a time of it. This isn't the only time I've heard of flaming hot Cheetos leading someone being sick. So this happened, I believe, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but everyone likes it though.
I actually don't think I've ever had one.
Really?
I'm not a flaming hot. I don't like too spicy stuff. I don't know. It's just. I mean, talking about eating healthy and stuff. I don't think Cheetos is Whole30. So frick. I mean, I'm assuming it's not good for you.
The school year is almost here.
Eating a bag of it.
You'll be making the kids lunches again, right?
Yes, indeed. But now doctors are alerting parents about a popular snack that could land your child in the ER. You see it right there, flaming hot.
7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson is here with the snack you may
local news.
Consider.
They're not even holding the snacks. I see.
Spicy snacks like flaming hot Cheetos and Takis have become so popular that now you're seeing this fiery red powder on just about everything, from popcorn to pork rinds to potato chips. And ask any kid, they'll tell you.
Are pork rinds Whole30 approved? I assume they are.
I don't know if they are.
I think they are.
Really?
Yeah, because it's pig skin.
Oh.
And it's usually fried in its own juices. Yeah.
I don't know, unless they add stuff to it that we don't know about.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
All right, the last story of the day, which I actually don't have up, it's simply happy 50th birthday to Will Smith, who celebrated in a pretty unique way. He went skydiving or bungee jumping from, I believe, a plane.
Wait, bungee jumping from a plane? That doesn't sound correct.
I think he bungee jumped. Hang on. Will Smith. Let me pull it back up. Yeah, it's... But he had it televised, and his family there. Oh, he did. Yeah, he bungee jumped. So it might not have been from a plane, but no, from a helicopter. There you go. I knew something in the air. Yeah. So turning 50, he bungee jumped from a helicopter.
Don't you think he'd be worried that he would bounce back up into the propellers?
I don't think the physics works that way.
Oh my God, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yes. And you got Carlton to be there.
Jada and the kid, they're coming. They're coming. Oh, yo. Oh.
Right about here, it's terrible. It's all terrible right here. It's all terrible. And then right about there. Ooh, yeah.
God, it is so weird that he's 50.
He looks like first Men in Black, you know. Or I would even say, I don't think he looks like Fresh Prince anymore. I would say he's movie star Will Smith.
Also, the fact that he's such a talented dude, because, I mean, he had no acting experience prior to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Quincy Jones basically just plucked him because of the charisma, and it worked. And they did, well, no, he was doing music with DJ Jazzy Jeff beforehand, right?
Yes. Yep, that was
all right, so he's a rapper, he was an actor, he's a movie star, and...
Severely in debt rapper.
For what?
He had tax issues, going into like Fresh Prince saved him. Because I think his first year or two of doing Fresh Prince, it was all to kind of pay back all the taxes and stuff.
Who's playing the mother this year? Yeah, but just also wide range of movies, because you look at the Men in Black franchise, you look at Independence Day, shouldn't have been a franchise, but whatever. Bad
Wild
Boys.
West.
No,
I liked Wild. Sorry, okay, good. That might be my guilty pleasure movie.
Kevin Kline made that movie. But Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. And also Bad Boys 3. Come on.
They've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
Something that was interesting I learned about this was that when Will Smith jumped, his family's there. He's married to Jada Pinkett Smith. But as he was married before Jada Pinkett in the early 90s. And I think has a still good relationship with her because they were on Instagram together, and that's always nice to have a good relationship with an ex. So
yeah, agreed. Yeah. All right, and that is Uncle Nick, and that is the news
with Uncle Nick.
For the entire Channel 4 news team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
Nick, what are you doing this weekend besides wanting to stick your head in the oven and try and look for some cupcakes?
Taking it easy. I think I got some books I can read at home that I'm going to try to, just lay low and avoid temptation. So get some light reading in, I think.
Kind of books?
Pornographic books.
Yeah.
Or find Harry Potter. I'm going to read some Harry Potter this weekend.
Yeah, I believe that. Get the show. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and check out the YouTube channel as well. And if you enjoy the show, tell a friend, spread the word, and add to the Jerome Homie Army. And also, big thanks to producer Allie for making us not so stupid. But for Nick, I'm Andy saying Annyeong Sayonara, and bye-bye. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to Bull with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Download the show on iTunes. Everyone's middle name is Jerome.